Good morning to you. This morning I'm going to show you how to install Windows 10 on a virtual machine. So the title of this is installing Windows 10 on VirtualBox. That's the virtualization software I'm using. So I'm going to show you how to install Windows 10 on VirtualBox. Okay, first of all, what you need to do is you need to go and download the ISO image. This is the web address that you would punch in the information. As you can see, Microsoft have got a tool. You can currently download the latest Windows 10 October 2020 update. I believe I did download this recently, so mine's already downloaded. But what you can do is you can download this tool. It's called a media creation tool. Once this tool is downloaded, then you could open it and tell it that you want to download an ISO image. Okay, once you've downloaded the ISO image, you should find it's saved here in your downloads folder. Okay, I've downloaded a 32-bit version as one of my clients only had 2 gigs of memory, and so I said to him that it would be best to put a 32-bit version of Windows 10 on. Okay, so that's how you get to that. I've already shown in a previous video how to install this VirtualBox with its extensions. So I'm going to just show you how to create a new virtual machine directly from this software, this virtualization software. Okay, so first of all we want to create a new. Okay, so we click on this new. It asks us where do we want to store the names. I'm going to put it under another folder. I'm gonna not put it under documents. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'll just call these VirtualBox. Okay, and then underneath here is where it will create new folders. Okay, so the first name I'm going to call it Windows 10 and 32-bit. Alright, and there you can see it already comes up with the type, which is Microsoft Windows. This virtualization software supports Linux, Solaris, BSD, IBM, Mac OS, you name it. So that's why I've always followed Oracle's VirtualBox. I find that it's very helpful for people that are into technology. As you can see, I've chosen Microsoft Windows, and you can see it supports installing all the way back up to Windows 3.1 if you can get hold of an installation kit for that. And as you can see here, it's giving me the Windows 10 32-bit, so I'm going to choose that. I'm going to click on next. I've got 8 gigs of RAM on here, so the minimum would be about 2 megs, so I'm going to go for a 2048. Okay, because that's what 2 of that would be 1024 in 1 gig implements, so this is a 2 gig system. Click on next. I don't have a virtualized hard drive, so I'm going to leave it that I would happy for him to create a 50 gig hard drive, and I'm going to create a virtual hard disk now. So click on create. I normally go with this VHD hard disk, so I click on next. I choose the dynamic allocation. The difference between dynamic allocation and fixed size is fixed size will use up the full 50 gigs as of now. Dynamic means that it will increase. So if Windows 10, which as far as I remember only takes about 20 gigs of hard drive space, it will use only 20 gigs. Okay, and so it'll basically increase as you need the hard drive, but it'll set a space for 50 gigs, so you can basically increase it up to 50 gigs. So I'm going to click on next, and as you can see there, it's asking me 50 gigs. I can change it to 100 gigs, 200 gigs, whatever size I've got available on my hard drive. and there it's telling me the location it's going to create this VHD file. I'm going to just leave it like that and say create. Okay, so now I currently have a system that's blank, okay, and ready to be loaded. So what I need to do is go into settings, okay, because I will need to mount my ISO image that I've downloaded. And so if I click on storage, you'll see there's my hard drive, and here's an empty spot. So I'm going to tell it, yes, please go ahead, I want to find an ISO file. So I'm going to say choose a disk file, okay, and there it says what type of disk do you want, and it supports quite a few different options. Obviously I've got an ISO, I've put it in my downloads, and I'm going to choose this and go to open, okay, and there we go. So now I've got my hard drive, and I've got my ISO image, and it should be ready to load, although it's showing me an issue. Okay, there seemed to be a small error with the running of the virtual machine initially, so I just sorted that out. While I've got you here, this is my website, and this is where I'm running a Patreon page for those that want to subscribe and donate towards the making of these videos. Alright, let's get back to the installation of our VM Windows 10 on a VM. I'm going to click on start. I've loaded the optical drive here, so the system is ready to have Windows 10 32-bit installed. Okay, so obviously you get to choose your language installation. I'm happy to leave it for United Kingdom. It's just the keyboard. I'm going to use United States International. I'm happy with that. And also because we're in South Africa, I changed the currency and format setting. There we go, to English South Africa. Okay, and the language to install doesn't have an option, so I just leave it as that. Okay, click on next, choose install now. As you can see, it asks me for a product key. If I had a product key, I would just start entering it here, but since I don't have, I'm going to choose I don't have a product key. It asks me which edition of Windows do I want. Since I've got the license for a home edition, I would choose the Windows 10 home edition. Obviously the Pro edition allows for extra networking and you to join a domain, whereas a home doesn't allow you to join a domain. So that's one of the main differences here. Click on next. Okay, you can read the terms and conditions of the license. Make sure you've read it through, then you click on I accept the license. Click on there. I just generally choose custom. Okay, I'm happy even though the drive's not allocated. I just click on next, and Windows setup will automatically format the drive to what it needs to be able to install the files in the various locations. So these next few steps take quite a while sometimes. So you might see that it starts at 1 and jumps to 100%. That'll just be because I'll be pausing the video so as not to make the video too long. The next stage will be installing features. And after it's installed the features, then it'll do installation of the updates. Then the final phase will be the getting finished phase. As you can see, once it's finished that, it comes up with a restart now screen, and then it should restart. Okay, after a long waiting session, we should be getting to load the windows now. Just waiting for it to, oh, it's done a restart. You should eventually be presented with this screen, and since I'm in South Africa, I'm going to choose South Africa, go yes. It's asking about the keyboard. Since we use a US keyboard, I normally just choose the standard US one. I don't normally add a second keyboard, so I just click on skip over here. At this point, what it tries to do is identify if you've got any network connection. I've gone and disabled my network connections so that it doesn't ask me to connect, because I find that if you connect to the internet directly here, then Microsoft wants you to choose a online account to set up a profile, whereas in general I prefer to create a local profile and then get the user to sync their online profile if they have an online profile. As you can see here, it says Ethernet's not connected, so I'm going to choose I don't have an internet connection. Okay, there's always these options here. It still wants you to try and connect now. I'm going to choose continue with limited setup. Okay, so the system did a reboot and it's busy reloading up again. Okay, you should be presented with this screen. It asks who's going to be using this computer. I'm going to be setting this up as Wells WebTech. Do I want to create a password? Not at this specific point in time, so I'm not going to set any password. I'll just click on next. Okay, this is basically some data tracking that Microsoft's included in Windows 10. Okay, so there it's got advertising IDs, inking and typing, find my device, online speech recognition, location, diagnostics data, tailored experience. For this system I'm going to leave it all selected, but in general I would turn most of them off. But yeah, it's a preference that you can choose. Do you want to allow privacy, or do you have issues with privacy? Yeah, they just collect a lot of data about people. This is where they want to encourage you to do create an online account, so you can have all your devices synchronized. I'm going to choose no, but you're welcome to choose yes. Okay, and here we have it. We've got our little Windows 10 screen, and this is our VirtualBox. As you can see here, there's a large search bar on the bottom. What I normally prefer is just having this magnifying glass. So in order to do that, you just right click on here, go to search bar, and tell it you just want to see the icon, and there you see it's just minimized into search. So this is my virtual machine complete. I just want to say thank you for watching this video. Please, if you feel that you need support with installing Windows 10 even after watching this video, please go to this website, get in contact with me, and I'll try and help you as best as I can. The same if you want to donate. I do appreciate donations. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it has been helpful. Thanks. Goodbye.